Now that we have some very basic CSS set up and our page is basically ready to go, we're going to start coding a lot more here. So I'm going to go to Live View in Dreamweaver because you can still select the different tags that you need using Live Header. Using Live View. Now in the header we're going to make some changes. Number one, I'm going to go and grab this yellow color that I need because I'm going to be using it in just a minute. Now let's begin in the header, and one of the things that I want to do is actually, before I even get to the header, is do a very simple CSS reset, and that's with the star. And what this does is this allows us to set our margins and padding to 0, which means that since everything is being set to 0, I'll put that at the top, now we can control the width of things just a little bit better. Now inside the page header we have an H group, and that H group has the text inside of it. I'm going to select that item, create a CSS rule for just the page group, and I'll do page header page group, or H group. And I can go ahead and give a color to it. So the problem with that, it's actually not going to give me the color that I want on the text. I'm going to have to do that to the H1s instead. But at least I can do this. I can set my width to 410, and I'm going to float that to the left. Now the reason that I'm doing that is because if I look at my particular graphic here, that 410 is the width. Now we have taken away the margin on the left and used padding, but we're going to put a margin on the right. That margin on the right is going to be 20 pixels. So margin on the right gets 20 pixels, and we can apply that. Now you'll see that my navigation is kind of moved over to be beside it. Now the next thing that we can do with that group is go inside. I guess I'll have to make ones for the headers here. Go inside of it, and I'm going to have to do the page header H group, H1, and H2, and give them the colors that I want. Now we could probably take just the H1 and H2. We don't need the H group in there as well. That could be just a little less specific. But now I'll use that color. Oop, I need to grab that color again. Now you can see we've applied that. Now we're going to use that same color for applying it to our global nav area. So I'm going to do a new CSS rule. This will be the page header global nav. And for that one, I'm going to do the same sort of thing. Width is going to be 410, but this time the margin is only going to be in the left-hand side as 20 pixels. I'm also going to give it a background color, which is that color. Excellent. Now it looks like our spacing is a little bit off, but we're going to maybe fix that a little bit as we fix our navigation inside there. So inside that nav list, I can go to the UL. I'm going to create a new level, or a new style for the UL itself, and I'm going to go to the list and take off the list style type. Then I'm going to go inside one of the list items. I need to make sure I'm on the right thing. Less specific. I guess I could be on the page header or not. It looks like I have page header global nav, page header global nav, so I could actually take that more specific again. And with these, I am going to, let's do block display, where is it? Display as block. And then for the box, I'm going to float them to the left. Now the other thing that I can do there is just give a little bit of padding or margin. So if all I need is a little bit of margin on one side or the other, we can kind of do that here. I'm just going to give myself just a little bit so that that's over there. So I'm not really sure I'm getting exactly what I want. I might have to save the page and actually go preview it in another browser just to see if I'm getting what I want. Right now I'm not necessarily getting what I want. Could be that I need to get some of that margin left. Let's see, did I do float left? I don't even remember. Edit, box. I never did. I never did float it to the left. Isn't that terrible? So the margin should be set to 20, floated to the left. Then, if I go and test this, whoops, did I save the CSS? Nope. There we go. Now it's looking the way it was supposed to look. I always forget to do little things here and there, but those little things kind of matter. Now we can do that middle section for the main image. We do kind of have an idea of what our main image size is going to be at this point. If I go to the code view, there's our main image. At this point, we know that we're going to have a main image that has basically a 40 pixel border. That means that if the whole thing is 900 pixels wide, and we have 40 here and 40 there and 40 on the top and bottom, that means that this image is going to be 80 pixels less than 900, so 820 pixels wide by, we'll say, like 300 pixels tall. So I'm going to make that the exact right size, 820, and that'll be 300 pixels tall. Now, with that being said, let me grab the main image area. Let's make sure that I'm in there. So I'm in the main image there. Make a new CSS rule. For this one, the background color is going to be that tan. And we're going to use some pretty major padding on this one. It's going to be 40 pixels, I believe, is what we said that we're going to do. That means that the total width is going to be 820 plus the 40 pixels, that's 80, which should equal 900. There we go. There's our main image. Sorry about the call there. If I refresh, save and refresh, you'll see we're actually getting our layout to kind of match, even though we don't have a main image there yet. Let's go ahead and stop and go on to the next tutorial.